All right. Okay, Kara, let me post.
All right.
You're good? All right, guys. Well, everybody, welcome to our Thursday call here. Kara, if you could just kind of, if you don't mind talking a little bit about what we're covering today, just so we can get this for our descriptions. And then everybody else, I've got to bounce. I had a meeting here that I have to attend to, and but Kara is more than capable to host this without me today. You typically do anyways, so.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody.
All right.
My name is Kara McMaster. I am the founder of The Nimble Agent, which specializes in doing marketing services for realtors. And where we have really found our stride in how we're really helping clients is doing it all through organic content, doing it all through video. It's something that we've always been really, really good at. And when we looked at our accounts over the years, the clients who've been with us for years, the clients who get the biggest ROI in time spent with us and money spent with us and their own time is focusing on their brand and focusing on really good video content. So over the last 8 weeks, I've been teaching you guys what a proper social media strategy looks like. How do we create content that actually gets people to come in as leads? But how do we do that through video? Because what used to work on social media, 5-6 years ago, where we could go onto a platform like Canva and create a graphic and get by. It's not to say that those don't have their place. They do. Okay. But it's not every post. The majority of your postings and what you should be creating are video content. And then again, if we drill down, because I'm a big 80-20 person, where is the best place to create that video content for? And that is TikTok. Okay. So the last few weeks, we've been going over how do you say it? What do you say? How is this content made? And then how do we do it so that it's been scheduled, so that it's gone out into the world? Because one of the big promises that I made to a lot of the people who started us in week 1 was I wanted you to be able to go away for August and just pre-schedule it all and not have to worry about a thing and know that it's done. So if you are on this call and that was one of you, freaking big kudos to you, because that is not an easy task to do, especially if this is new to you and creating video content and doing all of that. And these calls, I always open up the floor for questions and for a deep dive. Getting me on a one-on-one call is not a cheap thing to do. So this is where you guys get access to me completely for free. And you can even show me your accounts, get ideas from me, however I can best serve you guys is what I'm really here to do. So we have now exited out of this 8-week foundations. Okay. So if you have not taken the 8-week foundations, I highly, highly implore you to go back, watch weeks 1 through 8. There might be a couple of weeks here and there that you can skip because we might have done a open office hours where we just opened it right up for questions and didn't actually teach anything new. Just wanted to be able to give some live feedback, but there's a lot of stuff in there that you're going to want to go back. I gave you guys a ton of templates on how to come up with your content. I gave you hooks. I gave you all kinds of really cool stuff. So if you've got to do that, I'll go back. However, if you haven't watched the previous 8 weeks, that's cool, because today's class is going to kind of be a little bit more standalone because I want to start the conversations on TikTok. Since I had you last week create the content for TikTok, now it's a good time for you to actually understand what the heck is going on here. So let me pull open my slide deck that I have for you guys today, because I always like to come in really well prepared. I've been in the coaching space. I've been coaching real estate agents, and I've coached other agency owners, and I coach some other, individual small businesses. I've been doing it for a few years now, but I always like coming in with prepared slides for you so you have an idea, but more importantly, some action items. I always like to send you guys home with homework, because if there's one thing I've learned over the years of doing masterminds and going to conferences and taking these courses, if you don't take execution on it, you just wasted your most valuable resource in the entire world, and that is your time. And I do not take that lightly. So what I'm going to go through, you guys, today is some very actionable steps that you can take so that you can get a result, that you can get a reward from it. So that's what we're going to go through today. So welcome to the TikTok Masterclass. It's kind of like TikTok 101. If you've been along with me for the 8 weeks, some of what I'm going to say today is probably going to, you might have heard some of it before, but we're going to bring it all in and bring it all together. Fadmira, thank you. Thank you so much. This morning I was not looking like this, knowing that I had to see you find people. I wanted to spice it up. So I appreciate that you noticed. Thank you so much. All right. So first things first, If y'all are not following me on TikTok, I don't know what you were doing. I post all kinds of new stuff on there, what's happening with the algorithm, how to do callbacks within your CRM. It is all real estate focused. Every single piece of content there is to serve my realtor community. So go to this link here. I'll pop it in the chat here for you. I'm going to show you next week some other cool ways that you guys can share, like when you're out in public, how you easily share your TikTok details and how you can do some cool things with like a digital business card, but that's coming up. But go to that link there. Please follow me there. I will follow you back. I will engage with your stuff. Hang out in the DMs. Let's chit chat. Let's make this a fun piece of content. And actually, if y'all go there today, see this video right here where there's like me and Sky dancing. This was taken a while ago, right? This is a screenshot from a while ago. There's another video on there with me and Mr. Shane. We taught Shane how to do a TikTok dance and got him to do it up on stage with us, which was really fun. And that video actually did pretty well. So definitely go and check out my account and follow me there, and I'll follow you back, and we'll watch you from afar. And so yeah, cool. Yeah, that was a fun one. Cool. So we're going to start today. So today we're going to understand the platform a little bit better. We are going to show you some of what the kinds of content that you should be creating, right? We have talked about that, but we're going to summarize it again for those who have not yet. I want you to follow some other key realtors on the platform. Okay. We're going to talk about some of the ones who are they just happen to be really good looking. And as a platform, I'm going to favor people who are good looking. I'm not going to downplay that, of course. Okay. We're all very surface level people at the end of the day, but I'm also going to show you some accounts that are doing incredibly well, who are not they're not young people. They're not dancing. They're not over the top. They're just themselves. And because they were themselves is where the authenticity comes through. And that is what makes TikTok and video so incredibly powerful, is that you really get your own personal message to shine through really, really well. And we want to do that in an authentic way. And then after today, what should you be doing after today? So let's go through and let's look at a couple of key things here. So number one, there is so much freaking money on this platform. You guys have no idea. Okay. Christian Mortuzo, he's come and talked to the DYIC camp before. If you've not watched his call, please go back and do. This is one of my clients. He's closed over $500,000 in commissions. The man could literally never post another video for the rest of the year, and that account is still going to be bringing in leads on autopilot. It's crazy. He has more leads than he knows what to do with. And I know a lot of us in this call are in the GTA, Christians in the GTA. The man has closed $500,000 from a single TikTok account. If that is not enough proof in the pudding, I don't know what is. And before, again, you come at me that Christian is a young guy, and he's a good looking guy, and this is his thing. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys some accounts today that are big. They're making big money, and they're like the absolute opposite end of the spectrum of Christian. Then we got a guy like over here, Mike Corbett, huge video guy, right? He puts a ton of effort and love into his content. This is also one of my clients. He closed 45 deals all from TikTok last year. Okay. So there is so much money on this platform. I'm going to get into why it works so well, but let's kind of start off with like what makes TikTok the platform that it is. So it's still fairly new in the eyes of social media. I think Facebook is now something like I want to say like 17 or 18 years old now. Like it's kind of like ancient getting up there. And the user age is also getting quite higher on Facebook as well, but people using it and spending time on it is continuously going down and down and down and down. And where we're seeing the trends on TikTok are going up and up and up. So it's very quickly becoming our number one used social media platform. And in fact, Facebook and Instagram made a huge announcement yesterday. I haven't even had a chance to make a post about it or announce it to my own community, is that they are changing their algorithm to act more like TikTok. And I'm going to get into how the TikTok algorithm works in just a moment here. But it also overtook video watch time in YouTube, which is insane because when you consider that this is all short form content that is being seen on TikTok. So TikTok has the ability to do videos that are anywhere from 5-7 seconds all the way up to 10 minutes. Okay, we do see typically that the best types of content that perform are those that stay under the 60 seconds, because your watch time and how long somebody watches an entire video do count towards the points that live within the algorithm. But this is really important to realize, because when people come on to YouTube, they are there to watch longer, right? They're there on for longer periods, typically is what we've seen in the past. But now we're seeing that TikTok is overtaking it. The next big thing here that's happening that's going to completely transform the game is TikTok has implemented a very similar search engine optimization the way that YouTube did. So one of the things that we always harped on our clients for years was the importance of YouTube because it has SEO capabilities. You can mark it up with certain keywords. You can go after really great keywords that competitors might not be trying to go after, and you can have a good chance to get that video to rank. Well, now TikTok's doing the same thing. And now we're seeing that a lot of the younger generation, so especially the Gen Zers and some of the millennials, they're no longer using Google. They're no longer using YouTube. They're going to TikTok to search for their stuff. This is going to change the landscape. So we're not quite at the stages yet where TikTok is the #1 platform. It's getting there. But this is really important to remember. All of us at some point or another regretted our lack thereof trying when it came to Facebook, when it came out to Instagram, when it came out, and when it came to LinkedIn. There were all these periods of time in which you could grow your following on that account really easily without the platform trying to make you spend money to do it. Okay. We are still in that stages with TikTok. Are we starting to see it trend down? Yes, we absolutely are. It's definitely not as easy to grow as it was 2 years ago, but there's still time. Okay. It's almost next to impossible I'm going to say it. It's freaking impossible to grow on Facebook or Instagram if you are not doing some form of paying other influencers to get your account out, paying the platforms for your post to be seen and grow the audience, and running some sort of ads. So the hashtags aren't going to bring you people over there. Great, amazing content is not going to grow the audience alone. That is what makes TikTok so incredibly powerful, which is its algorithm and its ability to have the community, the people who consume the videos, decide what is good content and decide what is to go viral. Let me just handle some questions. Wow, I YouTube everything. Yeah, Ryan. So soon you might be TikToking a lot of stuff. I TikTok a lot of stuff now too, to be perfectly honest. I know I'm completely biased because this is my company, which we help clients on this platform. But I am finding more and more that I'm spending more and more time on there, not just to mindlessly spend time scrolling, especially into fashion or beauty trends, home renovations. Like, guys, it's all happening here. So let me explain what makes the algorithm so specific. I'm just going to take a sip of my giant coffee here. Bear with me. All right. So Facebook and Instagram, the way their algorithm currently works, right? They're making some changes because they want to act like TikTok. But the way the algorithm works is the people who see your posts are people who have to follow you. So let's say you have 1,000 followers on Facebook and you put out a post out. Facebook's going to show it to a couple % of your followers. So like 2-3 people are going to see that post, and they're going to watch, and they're going to see, did that person that follows you do something with the post? Did they stare at it? Did they watch the video? Did they like it? Did they comment? Did they share it? Did they engage with it? Okay. This is what they're looking for, because engagement equals you have put out a good piece of content. Because you have to remember, at the end of the day, all of these social media platforms, they have one job and one job only, and that is to keep you on the platform for as long as humanly possible. So when you put out a piece of content on Facebook, Instagram, any of these platforms, they're judging you to see your ability to create content and how, at the end of the day, how good of a marketer are you really? But when they put it onto Facebook and Instagram, if you don't get that engagement right away from the own followers that you have, right? They're not showing it to new people. They're only showing it to the audience that you already have. They don't take the engagement with it. Nobody else see the post. So that's why you can see now that if you're not spending money on your content on Facebook and Instagram, the reach is way down, right? Organic is just almost about dead. The way the TikTok algorithm works is very different. Over 90% of the engagement that you get on your video, so I'm talking video views, people commenting, people liking, taking any form of engagement with that video, it comes from what is called the For You page. Okay, the For You page is that home page that you come on and you mindlessly scroll. Right? You don't follow any of these people. You don't follow any of them. They have made what's called they have made a separate For You page. That's all the content creators that you follow, and you can toggle between the two really easily. And we'll show you that as well. But basically what's happening here is they will take in a few metrics into demographics that will matter as to whether somebody sees a video that you've created. So a very, very large one for real estate agents. And this is why in my humble but professional expert opinion, guru opinion, you call it whatever you want, it's the number one platform for real estate agents because of the way the travel works and the demographics. So local region plays a big, big part in who sees your content. You will notice after spending time on TikTok that a lot of the time you're engaging with content of somebody who lives in your local town, local city, local state. They try to keep it local because they want to show you the guy who's local to you, not the really, really massive guy all the time, right? The massive guys do make it in there, no doubt, but they want to show you the local guy. Demographics also plays a big part, right? If you're an older millennial, let's say, then they're probably going to show you a lot more content to do with older millennials. If you're a 13-year-old girl who's into dancing, you're going to get lots of dancing videos because it's looking at the demographics, it's looking at your local region, and it's paying attention to the information that is stored on that user's phone. So what content are they engaging with? What brands are they engaging with? What are they engaging with? Because remember what I said, their one single job is to keep you on that platform as long as humanly possible. So with that, they have built one of the most addictive algorithms I've ever seen ever come out of a social media platform. And now the other platforms are starting to follow suit. So that was a big announcement that they announced yesterday, was that Instagram and Facebook are now changing that 30% of their news feed and 30% of your, when you're scrolling the posts on Instagram, will now come from people that you do not follow. And they've written the code to look a little bit like the one that it currently exists on TikTok, because they know their platforms are dying. They know that the user adoption is way down, and that TikTok is overtaking because the way the algorithm works. So again, what makes this so powerful is that you don't have to have 1 million followers for your videos to blow up. It plays a little bit of a part, right? When we put something out on Christian's profile, like he did a trend a couple of weeks ago and it got a couple 100,000 views. It was just this little simple trend, which I'm going to go over what a trend is. But basically, if you put out a good piece of content that resonates with people, it on its own can blow up an account kind of overnight. So that's where there is this huge, huge advantage over others. So that's why when I asked you guys to come up with content and create the content, that we created the content in TikTok first, and then we're pushing it out onto the other platforms, because the other platforms aren't just giving us the love like TikTok is, and understanding where trends and where things go. That's why I want y'all to really, really pay attention to what the heck is going on here, because we're going to move into a space in time that deals are going to be taken away from your past clients, from people who are in your SOI, because there's a realtor in your market who's just better at you than this. And they're better at getting the attention there. I don't want to see that happen to you. It's like the worst feeling in the world is seeing somebody from your SOI posting a picture with another realtor that they just sold their house. It's the worst thing in the world. So that's why we go really heavy on video. So here's where some ideas need to come start. We were like, well, what do I create? What do I do? We're very big into what I call avatar marketing. You heard me use this term many times, also known as your ideal client. Who is that person? Because of the way in which the algorithm works and that it will serve the content best to that person, this is why creating content around your avatar and not just the real estate market is so important. Because if you are going after, let's say, millennials who are helping their parents sell their house, okay, that's a big avatar that we go after on TikTok. Let's say you're going after first-time home buyers. Let's say you're going after people who want to be one of the first, or you're in Miami, right? The crypto NFT market in Miami is pretty large. It's one of the biggest for real estate. Either way, the problems and objections and what keeps those people up at night are all completely different. And so when you create your content to specifically go after that, it will allow the algorithm to find the right person to consume that piece of content. And that kind of content is the kind of content that gets leads in the door. So I'll show you some different ways and the different types of the content that we can make today. But the first place that you need to start are developing subjects, hooks, and content creation around 3 to 4 different avatars of whom it is that you want to work with. And if you're unsure of this, please go back to the group, search DYIC Thursdays, and look for the call. I think it was like weeks 3 or 4, we did the content roadmap where we went really, really granular on what keeps your avatars up at night and how to go through this process. So you want to go through that process, and you want to spend just a couple hours every month coming up with your subjects, coming up with your hooks, and what is all of your content creation ideas. Okay. So a hook, this is like one of the most important things you're ever going to do with your video content, whether you're putting this video out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it don't matter. All of the platforms operate in which the same way. You have between 1 to 3 seconds to get that person convinced that they should watch your video. And if you are opening up your videos, and I see this all the time, and I love you all. I love you all so much, but please stop doing this. Please stop opening up your video with, hi, my name's Kara and I'm a realtor from Collingwood and I've been in business for 12 years and I've sold X number. Like it's already like people are whoop, like, I don't care. They're just going to keep scrolling. If you just save that and you pushed it 3/4 of the way in and you open it up with a hook, something that grabs their attention, something that creates that fear of missing out, that curiosity that if I don't listen to this right now, I'm going to miss out. And that is the way in which the way that the whole entire TikTok platform operates, right? It's judging you. It's judging you when you would put out that video. If you cannot get people past the first 1 to 30 seconds, it'll not get pushed out. And most of you will see video view counts of 250 or less. If you're seeing 250 or less, it means that video just didn't do very good and it didn't get pushed out to very many people. And they tried and it wasn't very good. So sometimes these small little tweaks of just pulling it open. I actually met with a realtor yesterday who signed on with us, and he was amazing on video. He was so good on video. He was so natural, but he opened up every darn video with introducing himself and being from the EXP break brand. And it was just, I was like, if we just make a couple of tweaks, we are going to explode this account. So little things like that are going to make a big difference. So to give you guys some examples and just to be able to start making some content, I came up with some really great hooks that are going to help attract sellers. Okay, so here's why these are not avatar related, right? These are just very broad. So I still want you to do your avatar research, but I do like to give you guys some stuff so you can just get going. So here's why summer 2022 is the time to sell. Here are the top 3 renos that actually increase home property. Thinking of selling your home, don't make this mistake. Calling all homeowners who want to sell but are worried of where they will live, or how about this one thing will tell you if it's the right time to sell. So that's why you don't want it open with, hey guys, my name's Karen. I want to talk to you today about, no, I want you to think of every single time that you have a video. I don't care where the video is going. You want to think of a hook. So have these jotted down, have these go back again to the content roadmap where I show you guys how to do all this stuff. Have it all jotted down, ready to go. The next thing here is you want to create 12 videos. Just get started with 12 videos. Know what your hook is, know what your main points are, and then understand where you're going to shoot this and do you need props. My Monster energy drinks tend to make a common appearance, coffees, water bottles, sunglasses, hats, jackets, hoods. If I'm playing 2 different characters in my video, that's where we want to think of what the props are. And then what is the call to action, if any, that you want to use. So calls to action, this is where we're generating leads. Okay. This is a big difference about generating leads from something like social media versus like a website that gets a name, email, and phone number. Okay. The leads come in the form of comments and DMs, and how you get those to come in is where the call to action comes in. So if your account on TikTok is under 1,000 followers, you do not have the option to place a link on your personal profile. Notice how I said personal. I like keeping my accounts in personal, not business, because when you go business, you lose out on the ability to use a lot of the different sounds and the different music and the different trends that we do. So that's, we just don't roll like that. So you got to get it up to 1,000 followers. So before that happens, here are some CTAs that you can use. So shoot me a message, right? So maybe you just made a video about what goes into when you're doing a CMA on a house in a certain, video place that you farm. And the call to action there is, if you would like to see how much your house is worth in such and such farm area, send me a DM. Or you can do, let's say you did a video on the best neighborhoods in Toronto to purchase an Airbnb. That's where you can say comment down below. If you have a mobile text capture, that's another place that we can use that. So you can have where you flash your number and you say, text this number, this, or like, if you agree. That's a very weak one. That's not going to bring in the links, but you get the point here, is that you need to give them different calls to action to take the engagement, because it's like, I don't know what kind of music y'all listen to, but there's a song that goes down in the DMs. Okay. Maybe they're talking about something we're not talking about today, But for you guys, that's where a lot of your stuff is going to be coming in. So your DMs, I want you really to treat like it's your CRM, because that's where everybody comes in. You're going to start the conversations in the DMs. You're going to start the conversations in the comment sections. And then the next goal is to get a phone number so that you can talk to them on the phone and then secure that in-person appointment. Because the number one thing that my clients are always telling me, whether we have done organic strategies or we've done lead generation strategies, they always say one thing. They say, Kara, just get me in front of them. That's all I need to do. Once I get in front of that lead, I'm going to close the deal. So it is a little bit of a dance, taking somebody online to getting them in person, but it is a million times easier when it's an organic lead that came in through TikTok versus something that was a Facebook lead or a Google lead. And again, it's not to say that those things don't work. These leads are just very different. They've been watching your content. They've been engaging with you. They like and they trust you, which is why they started engaging with you in the first place. Now we just need to run them through that process of getting the phone number, getting them on a phone, and then setting the in-person appointment, whether it's a buyer, whether it's a seller. And just as a side tip, for those who are my buyer agents on this call, if you are not doing buyer presentations and doing BBAs with these leads, selling yourself dirty, that's a whole other time for a whole other class, but buyer's presentations are where it's at. All right. So best tips for getting leads in the door. So how do you actually make content? That's one of the number one questions I get is like, how does TikTok even produce leads? Like, does it produce leads? And the short answer is yes. I'm sure, as everybody's gotten from when I started the conversation with Christian Mortuzzo, doing $500,000 in commissions this year, all from TikTok. So yes, it absolutely does. So how does that happen? So first, most importantly, like the content itself. Okay. If you're putting out crappy content, you're going to get crappy results. There are no shortcuts to this platform. They want to engage with you, the realtor, not images of your houses, not stock photography, not an image of somewhere in there and you just put music over top. That stuff does not work. The types of content that get leads are ones that show your face, that show the authenticity, that get down to the core of the very challenges, objections, and things that keep your prospects up at night. So the content that you're creating, it must be entertaining. It must be engaging. It has to be useful. Okay. Don't do the whole first time home buyers checklist stuff. This stuff does not work. It's been true and dusted. That's again why if you are dealing with a very specific type of avatar, you'll have a better idea of like what content is really going to get them. The comment down below for a list of neighborhoods, that is, like I said before, one of the best ways that you can start getting leads in the door because it's really, really easy. It's not committal. You know, you've just talked about a resource or something, and that if you want to be able to send them to them, getting the call to action to say to comment down below is one of the easiest ways to get the leads in, and also really helps with your engagement because you're getting people to engage in the comments, and people that engage in the comments it's a really, really great indicator to the algorithm that this is a good piece of content. And then again, send me a DM, right? For a list of homes, say you are in, a big play in like markets that are quite hot, like Florida, like Southern Florida, a list of homes that have a pool, that kind of stuff, right? Let me just check to make sure any questions. If I'm going too fast or I've got any questions, make sure you throw them in the chat there for me. We can definitely handle it there. Here are some key accounts that you guys are going to want to go and follow. So definitely go and follow these two clients that I mentioned here, Christian Mortuzzo, Mike Corbett. These are all their handles, right? Then you've got another guy named Noah Ward. The guy's super young. He hasn't even been on TikTok for that long, and he's like totally crushing it. And then we got clients like this. She does a lot of trending content. Then of course we've got the Ryan Serhants. He's always really big on. I'm going to just throw up another slide here because I pulled open because I always get people being like, but Kara, I'm not young, or I don't think I'm pretty, or I don't, they have all these like misconceptions of like what you have to be in order to do good on TikTok. And my answer to you is always like this. You've gotten yourself this far within real estate and people have chosen you. Okay. And it's because they met you in person and you allowed your personality to shine through and they connected with that. That's all that we're trying to do and all that we're trying to achieve with TikTok. So that's why I like to highlight some different accounts so that, you're not getting too scared off by things in like that you have to be a certain look or a certain way. So let me just share my screen here for you. And there's all different kinds of ways in which you can run your content, right? So let me just share screen. All right. So this is, we'll go up one here. This is when I always like to start out with Glenda Baker. She crushes it. Definitely have to go and look her up. She is, she's not 20, she's not 13, she's not some young thing, but she has great content because she does a lot of storytelling. She does a lot of times where she really helped a buyer out, or where she told a seller that this might not be the best opportunity. Her adventures in real estate is really what she's doing here. There's no dancing, there's no singing, there's no trends, there's no funny business. And she's really allowed her authentic, very Southern personality style to come out, and the public loves her for that. And her business has exploded because of it. Another example here, it's a little bit different. I think this lady, she must have been like an actress in her previous life, because she does all kinds of different skits and she's hilarious. But it's all for real estate. So her account has blown up. She got 65,000 followers. And look, every single video that she's putting out is in the thousands and thousands of views. So she's getting a ton of engagement. The algorithm loves her. And that's how she's discovered her shtick, her thing, because she's funny. But if you're not funny, don't be funny. I like highlighting this realtor specifically. She is so raw and so authentic, and this may not be your style. Okay. And that's okay. It's, however, if your clients are used to you showing up with your hair undone and you wear t-shirts to your showings, and that's the raw version of you that typically does business, then I say show up like that on video. Because if that's how people are obviously connecting with her, because maybe that's a little bit about themselves. Maybe they don't like something that's too over the top. But she did a few key videos where she just wasn't even talking about real estate. I think one of her videos that blew her up was because she had a really bad neighbor who turned into a friend who did some like things dirty to her. It was just a story time. There was like no production, no editing, no nothing. So my point to you here is find the way that you are able to show up in an authentic way that's yourself, that you're not trying to be anybody else, because that's why these people are choosing to do business. Is that you? Can you go back to the list of people we should follow? Yeah, for sure. So let's go up here. So we got Christian Mortuzzo, we got Mike Corbett, Noah Ward, Ryan Serhant, and Carrie Eschelschall. These are ones they make some great content, especially these two guys here. I'm biased. They're my clients. So I'm going to say that they make the best content that's out there. Let's do a quick time check here. How are we doing? Yeah, we're doing good. All right. The next thing here is we're talking about different content to make is trends. So trends are a way that you can easily make content that is for your niche. So one of the things that we do for our clients who work with us is we find the trends for you. So let's do this. Let's actually open up TikTok. So a trend is like a sound, or it's a song, or it's like this clip from a movie that will go viral, and other creators on the platform will start making it with that sound as well. And so what will happen is when you can jump on a trend, as we say, and you can jump on it as it's trending up, it can actually do really, really well within the algorithm. And it's almost like a little cheat code. Like it's a really cheap, easy way here. Actually, I'm going to show my account so I can show you what some trends are. But it's a really easy way to make some content that doesn't require any brain bandwidth. Oh my goodness, guys. Even more so when we do this for our clients, like we research what's trending, and then we tell you exactly how do you take that trend and apply it to your niche. How does it work for your specific niche? So let's let TikTok catch up here. Come on. So each week we'll send out a trend report to our clients that has exactly here's what's trending, and then here's how do you apply it exactly to your specific niche. So let me just stop sharing and share with sound for 1 second so you can hear. So this trend is a big sound that's going live right now. Super simple. It literally took me 3 minutes to do. And at the time, I didn't even know what I wanted the caption to be. I just knew that this sound was trending. And because it's trending, see, I posted it yesterday. It's already got at 780 views. And it's just a simple little video that literally took me 2 seconds. So it's a really nice way in which you can get on the bandwagon, create some content that could potentially go viral, but it allows you to pick up your audience. So if we look at Christian Mortuzo's account, he does a mix. He does a mix of talking head, which is like that Glenda Baker style, where we'll film with him in person and we'll prompt him for questions, and then he'll give us the questions, and we do two cameras, two different angles to make it a little bit engaging, to get those different shots. And that's the talking head style. Okay. This is what this stuff is here. These videos here are all towards that what is your avatar? What are their biggest challenges that are keeping them up at night, and getting right to the point, making quick, snappy little bits here that really position Christian as the authority in the space. That's the kind of stuff that may not always get the most amount of engagement, but it does bring in the leads. Whereas this stuff here, so this is the one I was talking about, we did with Christian. This was trending. It's not trending anymore, so don't do it now.
And we're all gonna have a great time. What in the Jesus Christ was that?
So again,
All
super
gonna be
simple. I
safe,
was like, we were just
and
like
we're
talking
all
about
gonna have-
for those who don't live in Toronto, the ICE condos are like a nightmare. They look beautiful from the outside. They're all owned by Airbnbs, but there's always like murders and cops and like cockroaches, and it's not a nice place. And we were right by the ICE condos, and I was like, this sound is trending right now. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to walk up to the building, and then I just want you to take your glasses off, and I just want you to look up. And then like, boom, we created a video that got him over 127,000 people watching his stuff for free. So our services are not free, but he didn't spend a dime on ads. And this is where it's so powerful, is that the trends will allow you to take something and apply it to your niche. So that's how the trend report goes down, is we decide, here's what's trending, here's how you're going to do it. And then they just go and they film it, and then we edit it and we produce it. So that's kind of how that works. Let's go here. Where you're going to go after this is, I just want you to start with 12 videos. Okay. We went over that last week, how to create that, go back through, create 12. But eventually, if you really want to grow accounts and you really want to take TikTok seriously, statistically, what we see is posting 2 to 3 times per day is key. I know that sounds like a lot, so I don't start there. If you have not started on TikTok, please do not attempt to do 3 times a day. Just start off with 12. Just get into the habit of making sure that you get 3 posts out every single week. And then once that starts going, and once you get a little bit of a tangible, you get your first lead, get all revved up, now it's time to really start taking this seriously. But I want you to start somewhere. Original storytelling, original content is king. Okay. The trends are good. You want to post one trend, every 2 to 3 videos, try to throw a trend in there. But authentic storytelling is what TikTok favors right now. That is using the correct hashtags and the correct captions, which we'll have to do in another class in the future. But that's what they like to see. My suggestion to you here is to follow the format of Mr. Mike Corbett, who did a lot of his stuff before we started working with him. We just make his life a whole heck of a lot easier now. But every Monday morning, he blocks out 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and does the content for the week. That's a really nice, easy way to achieve a lot of different stuff every week. But just start with 12. Okay. Let me take some questions here. All right, Edgar, if we've got time at the end of the class, I'll try and answer your question there. What's the best way to figure out what is trending? Great question, Faja. And then what percentage of videos does he actually speak in? Ooh, good questions, good questions. So right now we're testing out different variables. When we started working with Christian, he actually I wanted to say when he didn't believe us, but he was surprised to hear that this talking head stuff was performing so well for some of our other clients. And then when we started testing it, he was like, oh crap, this actually does work really well. So we are testing the mixture of like talking head versus trends, like versus like him doing these like walkthroughs kind of stuff. So it's all a matter of testing, but I like to see that every the way I personally do my content right now is I like to have 2 videos that are talking head that get to the core, the very dirty down core of what a realtor is going through on a day-to-day basis. And then that every 3rd video tends to be a trend. That is a good ratio that has worked well for me. What was the other question here? Best way to figure out what's trending. Okay, so a couple of different ways. The first way is to be on the platform yourself. And when you see a video with the same sound pop up twice, that's a good way to get started on working on with trends. Once you start interacting with other social media accounts, they'll start to tell you like what's trending. The only problem with that is when you're doing trends, you have to get them at the beginning. And you want to do trends that are not have like millions and millions of videos made for them. You want to try and do trends as it's trending up, because that's how it works within getting it right within the algorithm. So I'm going to push my own stuff here. If you're a client, we will send you the trends, and we have all of our own softwares and technologies that tell us when something is trending and when it's at the beginning versus when it's at the end. So that's what our report entails. It's the easiest way to do it. If you're not a client, then what I would suggest to you here is to start hanging out on the platform. And when you start to hear 2 or 3 times of the same sound being, just hit in the little right hand corner of your TikTok where it looks like almost like a little record playing. If you tap that, we're going to do a class next week and I'm going to show you how to create some actual content. And if you go back to last week, the last 2 weeks, I actually showed a little bit on how to do some editing on TikTok, but that will allow you to see all of the videos that have been made for that one specific sound. So it actually can give you some ideas on how to achieve that. Vicky says, how can I use TikTok to invite a first-time home buyers seminar just for them? Hook, do you want to buy your own home in GTA, but don't know where you're going to do that? So I would recommend, like, depending on how, like, for if somebody like Christian with a large following that he already has, I would say go completely organic, and we would build out a series of TikToks where it'd be like part 1, part 2, and then drive it all with the call to action being, comment down below and I'll send you the link. Again, because you can't put a link in a post, right? The only time you can have a link is if you have over 1,000 followers and you're sending them back to your profile. That is not a great way to get people in. That's why we don't put a copy and paste link in our post. We don't do any of that stuff. Use the call to action comment down below. But for you, Vicky, if we're starting out, I would look to spend a little bit of money. To be honest, I would put a little bit of ad spend behind that because you're trying to advertise a very specific thing instead of growing an audience. So that's how I would do that at the very beginning. But I would probably try to create 2 to 3 different videos that are like part 1, part 2, part 3. And then I would work on this hook here. Do you want to buy your own home in the GTA, but don't know where you're going to do that? So I would call out more like GTA homeowners who are insanely frustrated with the current market, do this. Something along the line. When you start talking about people being frustrated or sad or upset or angry, when you can invoke an emotion in somebody, that can usually be a really great hook. So start there. Janina says, I find it takes so long to edit the videos, maybe overthinking. Janina, you are not wrong. Good editing on videos, they take time. They do. There's just no way around that. For myself, when I edit a video, I can take anywhere from 5 minutes up to 45 minutes per video, and how I like to edit my stuff. But that's specifically for me. So what I'll say is those talking head videos that you do, if you go back to 2 weeks ago, you'll show how we shot it right in TikTok. TikTok has a really, really great editor that makes it not too bad. But if you have the means, you should be hiring somebody like myself or have your own video on how a video editor. I want to see you guys get started. If you do not have the means, you're going to have to do some of the grunt work. I mean, Christian Mortuzo did not have the means. He did it all himself. But now he's at the point where he had to choose. Did he want to continue to create content on TikTok, or did he want to be a realtor? And I was like, you don't have to choose. We can do it for you, which is where we were able to really help him out and do some cool stuff. But you should look for some help. You should look for some help. I don't want to see you guys doing too much editing. Tom says, what do you mean by talking head? I mean, the Glenda Bakers. So my mouse just died. So I can't use this mouse. Let me use this one. That's the Glenda Bakers, the talking head. Or here, I'll go on Christian Mortuzo. Like this stuff here, this video right here, this is a talking head style where it's just.
I know it can be tempting to buy a fancy house
just
in a
him. There's
distant or
nothing else
rundown
going on in this video other than his opinion, his content on a specific subject. So we call that a talking head style.
Who your neighbors are. I'm talking about.
Can you post a link to the slides, please? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Give it 2 seconds here, guys. Okay, I will post. Let me get here and I'll make sure that you guys got the slides for today. So that's a basic. One thing that we can help you guys out with, because you did make some comments about editing, is like we can help you. And I'm not going to go through my whole spiel here, but what I will say is this, because I do want to open up the floor. If you would like to ask me some questions, but I do have a package that allows people to get started. Okay. We charge $13.50 for this package. If you came to me on a call, it's going to be a different story. But I like to have people get started. So the $13.50, just very quickly, if that's okay with you, it includes 12 videos. We'll get you started. We'll build and optimize your TikTok account. If you already have one, we're going to optimize it. We're going to come out with all of your content ideas. We're going to give you one-on-one coaching so that you can get the perfect content capture. And then we're going to create the videos and we'll edit them. We'll publish them. We'll capture them. We'll do the hashtags. And then we even give our clients some private Facebook group and TikTok strategy coaching sessions that come along with that. But it's $13.50. If anybody wants to do that, just let me know in the comments. I will send you the link. You can go ahead and buy it. Basically, the way it works is you get on a call with our brand and social media manager for your kickoff call, find out who your avatars are, come up with all your content ideas, come up with all of your hooks, and then you'll shoot the content. So you can either shoot the content with us, or you can go and shoot it on your own. Either way, we're going to achieve 12 very strategic videos. After the 12 videos, you can decide, did I like working with Kara and her team? Or do I want to do this on my own? If you like working with us, great. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. We'll continue doing some really cool stuff. We'll push it out to some other channels. But if not, now you'll have an understanding of like what execution looks like on the TikTok platform. What kinds of videos should you be making in order to actually make that money, that make the leads come in the door? What does execution look like? I'm really, really big on execution. So Melissa, definitely, I will send that to you once we jump off the call. Janina, perfect. Let me, I will capture this right here. Guys, I use a wireless mouse and of all days, it decided that it wanted to die out on me. Okay, I want to open up the floor for some questions. What questions do you guys have? And what are some specific stuff that you guys need from me in future trainings?
Hi, Kara. I'm going to ask my first question.
Sure, yeah, please do.
I am going to come out of here. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear me. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I was already posting one time per day,
Okay.
video trends, stuff like that. But now I am getting like my drafts are up and going for at least 3 videos per day. Some talking heads, some trends. Do you recommend that I do post them all at once, or do you
No.
recommend that I post them throughout the day?
You definitely want to post them throughout the day, because if you post them all at once, what will happen is you could trump that video. So like one of the golden rules is like, let's say if you guys get a video and it's gone viral and it's doing really, really well, and you typically post like 2 to 3 times per day, I wouldn't even post another video that day because you could potentially trump that other video. So you do want to follow a cadence. What I would recommend is you want to go into your TikTok account. And then you want to go to creator tools. So right in the right-hand corner up here. And then we have analytics. And so, okay, so your analytics report, it's having a hard time coming up there. There we go. Your analytics report will actually tell you when your people are on there. What times are they on there, your followers? And that will start to give you an indicator of like the best times to post, right? So it'll tell you
So
day by day.
Yeah, so I checked it this morning and it showed 10 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's when I post.
So you guys can schedule it, right? Like if you use TikTok, the desktop version, you can actually pre-schedule the content. Or you can also go back to last week's class where I showed you guys a tool called repurpose.io, where you can pre-schedule everything. So I definitely recommend scheduling your stuff, because you don't have to remember and you can always choose the best times. But yeah, that's not surprising to me. Most of my accounts that I work on, but between 7 to 11, is typically where your stuff is seen.
Okay.
So,
yeah. All right. Thank you.
Schedule it out. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Edgar, you had a question about an open house. So your open house question. Let's see. Where did it go? I'll talk about the open house this Sunday. What's the best social media approach? Okay, so a couple things you could do here. When a client of mine is doing an open house, I like to create a Facebook event. And then I like to invite anybody that wants to come to the event, because even people who didn't accept the invite will get notifications about the event as it's coming and as it's happening as a reminder to come. So in that open house, you like create a Facebook event, put in some photos if you have video of the open house. If you're going to be serving anything at the open house, like free food, free drinks, or if you're going to have anything special about that open house, make sure that it's available there. And then of course I would create posts about it on all of my channels. I would create a like TikToks, Instagram stories. I would create reels. You now should on your Instagram stories. It used to be that you had to have 10,000 followers in order to be able to swipe up and follow a link. And over the last few months, they've been rolling out to more and more accounts where you can just where the stickers are, you can choose a link and you can have a clickable link. And that can go over if you have a dedicated page built out for that open house. And then at the open house, what I would have ready is a way to digitally capture everybody's name, emails, and phone numbers. MailChimp actually has a really great app for this and make it really, really easy to do. Some of you might have CRMs that make it really easy to do, but what I like to have is an iPad there on site that somebody can just very easily add in their name, email, and phone number. And when you're trying to get those information from people, and maybe if they're not putting it right themselves, I would just say, hey, like I have access to market to properties before they hit the MLS. If you just want to put in your name, email, and a phone number, and we'll follow up with exactly what you're looking for so I can set up the right alerts. And that's a really great way to capture people's information. So get it onto all of your socials, create a Facebook event so that everybody can be notified as it's happening. And then while you're there, I would even do a Facebook and Instagram live. If you've got the iPad there and you've got an iPhone, I would do simultaneously. You've got a third phone there and you can go on your TikTok live. That would be good too. But you basically want to find all different ways, all different angles. So through images, through videos, and through copy, because we never know which somebody wants to consume information. Does that help? Yeah. Tom has a great question. Love this question. Destiny said, what is the name of the app to use? So it's called, I don't remember, can't remember what it's called. It's been a while since I've used it, but it's made by MailChimp. But if you just look up in the App Store, MailChimp email capture, you should see the app come up. Okay, great. Thank you, Edgar. Tom says, if TikTok is aimed at local market, how do you get people relocating into the area? Great question. So this goes back to the way the algorithm works and matching up people's content. So yes, local is important, but you're still going to see content that's not local to you, right? And if you are going after, you're keywording it properly and you're using the correct hashtags and you're creating content for somebody who is from New York City, who's wanting to migrate down to Miami, they have very specific, unique challenges and problems in which they're going through. So if the content is positioned towards that, the algorithm will find a way, because that person likely has cookies stored within their browser of maybe they were looking at universities down in Miami, maybe they're looking at the best restaurants there. They have these little cookies that are installed there. So it's the same way in which when a marketer does targeting on ads and how they pull people in are those same cookies. So that's why the relocating niche on TikTok can actually do really, really, really well. So I would try to think of different ways of different lead magnets in which they can serve them. So if you're noticing it is a lot of people coming from one specific state, maybe it's the New Yorker's Guide to Relocating to Miami, the 10-point checklist to make it a seamless move. That would be a great lead magnet. So think of little things like that you can make content around that and different calls to action to send them that guide. Ryan says, Kara Diamond. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you. Cool. We got 5 minutes left for the rest of the class before I have to hop off here. So let's hear your guys' questions, or if anybody has any questions on how we help, I'm happy to answer that for you now. Tom says, oh, did we get there? Who's talking?
I'm good, thank you. How was your
Oh,
holiday?
Is Jean? Oh, no. I was like, Gina, I did not go on no holiday. There we go. We're going to mute her. Tom says, what would you think of recording a video in front of your sign instead of mentioning your name? You could totally do that. You could totally do that. If you've got a great sign and a great location, that would make for a great background. I would say make sure that you're using some sort of lapel microphone that can attach to your phone, so it's got really, really good sound. There's nothing worse than hearing background noise. Okay, the content itself, the lighting, and the sound are like the three most important things when it comes to a video. So if you want to have the sign in the background, great, go for it. But at the end of the day, people are going to take action on your stuff because they like you, Tom. They like something that you said, something resonated with them, or they're like, Tom gets me. He understands. He's served people like me before. I know that these unique challenges, because everybody thinks that they're special and unique to you. There are all these unique challenges that I have. Tom's going to be able to figure out for me. So I like where you're going with thinking about backgrounds and things like that. Could totally work. I always say do test. Like, it's what makes TikTok really cool too, is like, as we start to create content and we really figure out like what our audience likes. Remember I explained that 90% of the engagement comes from the For You page. It allows you to take the same content that you did that worked really well and just create new stuff, just a little bit slightly different. Maybe you change the hook, maybe you change the location, maybe you change the style in which you filmed this, but you can make the same content over and over and over again just to find new people to bring into your audience. So you don't always have to be reinventing the wheel and wondering what kind of content do you have to be coming up with. So just get into the habit of being really good at understanding what keeps your most desired ideal clients up at night. What are the biggest challenges that they have? Because when you build into those emotions, that's where people reach out. Great questions today, you guys. We're going to end it here unless anybody else has any other questions. Going once, going twice. All right, so y'all have your homework, 12 videos. Next week, we're going to come in, we're going to dive a little bit deeper. You're welcome, Tom. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into the TikTok platform, a little bit more into creating, a little bit more little hacks on how I say stuff, how I come up with my ideas, and how I make this a little bit easier for you. And links, link to the slides. Let me grab you those now. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you. So we'll do a little bit more deeper dive. We're going to do a lot of stuff on TikTok here, guys, because TikTok is the #1 platform, in my humble expert guru opinion. All right, I'll throw this link in the chat here for you. Tips for editing. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's a good one for sure. Okay, we'll throw that in there. Okay, that's the link to the slides. And then I've got Melissa and Janina. I'm going to send you guys an email shortly thereafter. So that if you guys want to take advantage of us helping you out with your TikTok, you can. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I will see y'all here next Thursday. I'm going to be in Colombia. You guys, I'm building a call center in Medellin, Colombia. There's a company out there that has successfully been doing it for the last 6 years, and they do it for wholesale people. And I watch these young Colombian kids negotiate with these homeowners, getting them to agree to a 70% or less retail value. And then they send it to a closer and they do that. And I said to the company, and I was like, what are you doing for realtors? And they said, we're not doing anything for realtors. It shocked me. It blew me away. And I convinced them that we were awesome at what we do and that we have this large network of realtors that we work with. And I said, can we just test it? Can we try it on one of my clients and get full retail appointments? And they're like, yeah, sure. You have a script. So they took one of like their best guys on the floor and got him to do some dials. Within an hour, they booked 5 listing appointments for this client of mine in Houston on old data. So not a dime spent on ads. They're not doing anything. They're literally just getting a listing appointment. So I will be in Colombia next week. And we're opening up our new office October 1st. So that'll be really cool. I'll be really excited to share that with you guys because this is going to change the game. The problem I'm seeing is that Facebook and Instagram and Google ads are just getting really, really expensive to generate leads. That's why we were going so ham and hard with our clients when it comes to organic content, because it's a much higher ROI and a much longer play. But this is going to be exciting. So no matter what the market decides to do, we're going to have some really great ways that realtors can make sure that they're closing the amount of deals that they want. So I'll have more of that, but that's where I'll be next week. So if it's a little bit loud where I am next week, now you'll know. Thank you all. Have a great day. Have an amazing week. Let's go make some money. Let's create some content. I'll see you guys back next week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.